First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the one sells great millstone, while lunch is truth. And also to those elect that is scattered abroad, I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is Watchman Report, New Worker Classification Rule. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners. Hope this will be today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by AP, Associated Press. And it reads, it said, new rule tightens worker classification standards. So Uber, Lyft says their drivers won't be affected. Let's get a little bit more. It said the Biden administration erected a new labor rule Tuesday that aims to prevent the misclassification of workers as independent contractors, a step that could bolster both legal protection and compensation for millions in the U.S. workforce. Major app-based platforms, including Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, expressed confidence that the new rule would not force them to reclassify their gig drivers, but business groups warn the rule creates uncertainty for employers and much depends on how the Labor Department decides to enforce it. So we already know this talking about, like side hustles, people, what they call themselves, self-employed, independent contractors, and gig drivers, that means the same thing as independent contractor. So we seeing that, they're trying to, they already pretty much destroyed the middle class. So they already want, what I'm saying, the rich and the poor. They're trying to cut out the middleman. So they seeing right now that, they're trying to get a lot of these, what they call so-called side gigs reclassified as employees, so where they can put you under their banner, which in fact, they can take out taxes how they want to take out. So we seeing that this is all about what control. They don't want anyone trying to be supporting themselves or making a whole lot of money, whereby they don't need to depend on the government. So we seeing where all is going. So we already knowing that you have these Uber, these Lyft drivers, DoorDash, and they saying that they're not really concerned about it, but it's going to affect everyone on the planet when these things go digital. So we seeing these things right before our eye. And also we already knowing that it's a lot of what you call content creators like TikTok. TikTok has blown up. So a lot of people are making a lot of money off this platform. So all of a sudden, they bring forth this new bill whereby, they want to what you call reclassify these workers, these independent contractors as employees, trying to cut out the middleman, cut out you making what a decent living, so a lot of people that is on TikTok right now, they're making all sorts of money, $1,000 a week. And hey man, and one thing about this money is not being regulated. Also, it's a lot of tax write-off on a lot of different things. So we seeing that it's right now, it's very convenient. So we already know that the devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. They want that total control. And we seeing that it's happening left and right. Small business, they want, they constantly a lot of them, doing the C19, took out a lot of those small business. Also these mom and pop business, so a lot of them went out of business. So that's what they're trying to do now, is put out these so-called gig workers or these independent contracts. They're trying to put them out of business, like a lot of people, making money, delivering also like medical supplies, delivering food, water, all sorts of things. A lot of people using their own vehicles. So, so we seeing these things are constantly out. People going on, TikTok starting their own business, like their beauty supplies or their t-shirt business, or let's see what else on there. Some people started a restaurant on right there on TikTok. So we already know this what this is all about. It's talking about, oh man, we just want to get everybody classified, making sure that they are working for this company, or it's really a bunch of confusion. So we seeing a lot of these things are coming to pass. These were unrighteous decrees. These what you call these rules, these laws. They're constantly putting things into place to tighten the grip, to put you in a chokehold. So we seeing it left and right. So it was a bill, I think it was last year, I believe it was in California, called the AB 5, very similar to this bill, all self-employed, and I think it was dealing with the truck drivers also, that ones that was what you call, they was owners of their own trucks and trailer. They were trying to cut that out so they can come up under a business, under a employer, a business, so they can call them a employee instead of a independent contractor. So like, I hope that made sense. But anyway, we're seeing that, we're seeing these things happening right before our eyes. We're seeing a lot of these things. It's going to cause a lot of major problems. When they cut out the middleman, which in fact, this middle class, they pretty much then destroyed it. And also they cut out these side hustles. And we knowing that these prices are constantly rising, gas prices are constantly creeping back up. And also we knowing that rent is constantly rising up. So they cutting out all these side hustles. You already know this is going to be order out of chaos. We already know what's going on with the economy. A lot of things are constantly happening. We're seeing these things constantly happening right before our eyes. So they passed this bill, and also they passed another bill, the TikTok ban bill. So hey, these things working hand in hand. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. He want total control. So we constantly seeing this self-employed or independent contractor. They don't want you independent. They want you totally dependent on the strength of Egypt. You already know this Babylon the Great, this broken reed, this system, this beast banking system that's getting ready to come into play. You will not be able to do anything unless you take it under the skin. This is where all is leading to. That's why they constantly putting all these laws and different mandates and different things in place. So right now you were seeing that a lot of these content creators are getting ready to be going off, and that's why they're trying to take TikTok out, because they're seeing that a lot of people are making a living. They're seeing that they're not depending on the government for their aids and their different aids that they have, like food stamp, different things. Like people are working, and constantly getting ahead. They don't want you to get ahead. They want to have their feet on your neck. Once again, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So we seeing these gig workers or these independent contracts, they're trying to take them out, even though it's saying that Uber and Lyft drivers and that DoorDash will be safe, but no, everyone is getting ready to come up under that banner. They get ready to try to finish taking out the middle class, which in fact they done did a great job already. We're seeing these things are constantly happening. They're gonna try to make it illegal to be self-employed. Basically, this is what this bill is all about. So hey man, we constantly see anything left and right. They constantly putting these things in place, these laws. You know what I'm saying? These rules and regulations. You can't do this. You can't do that. Making it harder and harder to make a living, to survive. They want you to be totally dependent upon them. So one thing about that is that total control. One world government, one world religion, and one world currency. So we seeing how all this is going. So we're here. It is at the door. So and a lot of people right now are living very good right now. They're thinking that they're a good case. You seeing right now they're trying to snatch the rug off of a lot of these so-called independent contractors. And also we know there's a lot of store closings all around the world. So a lot of things are constantly happening. The sown place is get ready to become unsown. Also the Lord is getting ready to break the staff of bread, your well life, your necessity. They get ready to change overnight. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. Also we knowing that, a great famine in the land is coming. A lot of things are constantly happening. We're seeing all these global events all around the world. Before we start today's lesson, let's get a quick precept in Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah right quick. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit, and I hope that you will get edified. I start here in the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. It said, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, that they write grievousness which they have prescribed or authorized, and woe go into what? Destruction. And that decree, goes into what? Law. So we seeing that he constantly putting these laws that really don't make any sense. It's all against you, not for you, against you. So we're here to help you. It's about seeing that you getting treated fair, that you maybe you can get some type of benefit, medical, dental, and all this. Now it's not don't have anything to do with it. They want you to be totally dependent on them. They want to take taxes out on you. They want some of that money. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Esau is very greedy. He is the thief. So we seeing it right before our eyes, man. Hey, man. We seeing what this rep devil doing. The Lord's constantly what exposing him, especially these content creators. Oh man, they making a killing. They goes on. A lot of people goes on there and telling them what they're making and showing other how to make it. They don't want that at all because they get ready to try to perform their agenda. They plan their plot. So let's read this again. Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree, laws or rules or mandates that right grievousness which they have prescribed or authorized. So we already know that this bill, TikTok bill, and also this new workers classification rule, or this gig economy worker bill has passed. So it's a lot of things they get ready to put in place. Oh, it's not gonna be that bad. We just making sure that we have the right classification. Hey man, never trust thy enemy. Verse 2, it said, turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right, from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. That's what they getting ready to do, is take away your right to what? To survive, to take away your right to take care of your family, or to have a decent living, to take away the rights. We're seeing it happen right before our eyes. Who is the poor and needy? That is what? Hey, what the true believers, Israel. So we seeing that right before our eyes. They talking. They don't want the people of color. They don't want you to get ahead no kind of way. They want to constantly keep you in that chokehold. So that's why all these things are happening. They passing one decree behind another. That means law, mandates, and also we know that we coming upon a time of trouble that we never seen before, and also these lockdowns. So now let's go here and start today's video, and after the video we will start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
That side hustle could soon be classified as a second job, thanks to new labor rules unveiled by the Biden administration this week.
The so-called gig economy is about to get a big makeover. The Labor Department announcing a new rule Tuesday that could see millions of American workers reclassified from independent contractors to regular employees, a step aimed at boosting legal protections and incomes.
This is one of President Biden's most important priorities, which is to make sure that one job is enough to sustain a family.
The new rule replaces a Trump-era regulation classifying most gig employees as contractors and therefore not entitled to minimum wages or benefits. The Biden administration claims employers have exploited loopholes to misclassify workers and avoid paying them what they're worth. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce disagrees, saying the rule could destabilize the workforce, writing in part, quote, it threatens the flexibility of individuals to work when and how they want. App-based employers like Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash say they don't believe the new rule applies to their workers. Others, including restaurant owners, are afraid they'll be forced to reclassify everyone from waiters to dishwashers, resulting in new costs they simply can't afford.
We had a $350,000 drop in revenue, while our labor went from $500,000 a year to $650,000. So $350,000 drop in revenue, but $150,000 increase in labor.
31.9 million people. That's how many U.S. independent contractors there were in 2022. If you freelance at all, you're going to want to hear this next part. The Department of Labor published a rule that will make it much more difficult to be an independent contractor or a freelance worker. The rule redefines how businesses can classify independent contractors, forcing more workers to be considered full-time employees, even if it's not what they would prefer. Actually, something similar to this rule called AB 5 was passed in California.
Because of laws like AB 5.
Because of AB 5,
it killed half of my income.
AB 5 needs to be repealed.
Turns out that AB 5 was a pretty impressive magic trick. It actually made a whole lot of my business
disappear.
California freelancers were not a fan. Many freelancers lost their jobs because companies couldn't afford to consider them as full-time employees. Other companies in California were so scared to misclassify workers or accidentally break the rules that they just stopped hiring freelance workers altogether. Hundreds of thousands of workers in California were devastated because of this. So, this final rule is set to go into place throughout the country March 11th, 2024. It'll be interesting to see how different freelancers and businesses operate heading into this big change in the labor force. Follow us to stay on top of everything.
As a 1099 independent contractor, man, you got major deductions that you can have. You can actually write off a lot of your lifestyle things that you're paying on. Like you can write off your home office, you can write off the depreciation of your car, any real estate that you have, so any assets that you have, you can write off the depreciation. Your cell phone, so whatever portion you use of business for your cell phone, you can write that also off as a deduction as well. Your meals, your travel, any conferences or education or courses you buy, you can write that off as well. So you can actually turn your whole lifestyle into a whole tax deduction, y'all.
Y'all know the real reason why they want to do this tomorrow, right? Why they're voting on this, why they're all of a sudden, why this is up again. It's not because they're concerned about our privacy and our data and all them lies they keep feeding us. Because Meta and everybody else, our TVs, our phones, our microwaves, our dogs, the birds, everybody's getting our data. The air, the oxygen, the ground, the grass. Child, stop. That's not why. Just like Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. That's not why. The real reason, in my humble opinion, that they want to take our beloved TikTok app away from us is too many of us have replaced our jobs that we hated with TikTok. Too many of us are using TikTok Shop. We've created small businesses. We're selling products and replaced our income and actually are making more than what we were making on the damn crappy jobs they treat us like trash at with this app. Too many of us have become content creators and are making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, spouting our opinions, opining, showing our personalities on our beloved TikTok app, and they're paying us for it, unlike other places. That's the real reason. Don't be fooled. So if you have not called your congressperson, you best blow up their phones, get to calling them. Keep calling, leave messages, because what they don't need to do, what they really gonna screw up and do if they pass this and get everybody on board, is they're gonna put a lot of people out of business. And they're gonna make a lot of people go back to horrible jobs that they didn't want to. And that is exactly what they want to do. Because the only reason that the only way America will work, the only way capitalism works is if you have a worker class and worker bees. And if the worker bees have gotten smart and they've started small businesses and they've learned to invest their money because people like Big Mouth Auntie Buffy are telling them, then baby, America's in trouble. And America has a problem. And that's why, my friends, they're trying to get rid of our beloved TikTok app. And yes, I'm in a flare. That's why my lips are purple. Thank y'all for your love and support.
So you see, that it's too much information going out, too much knowledge, also too much income. People are making too much money. They seeing that, a lot of people are constantly being self-sustaining, independent, constantly coming together, having resources. Things that they don't have to depend on the government. So we seeing that right now, they putting things in place whereby they getting ready to cut that off. We seeing it right now. The devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. And also we seeing that the Lord is making Esau barren and barren. Every plan that he come out with, the Lord is constantly check making him. So let's start the day 11. Very quick lesson through the Spirit. Let's go ahead and let's start off in Ecclesiastes. So like we're going past Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and we'll start up at the top at verse 1. And it reads, said, it's a remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh or near, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So right now, remember what, Seek the Lord while you young, while you vigorous, while it's still time, while you right now, we seeing that, a lot of people right now are not considering, right now, this is when you need to be considered. We're seeing that these evils are constantly growing, and there's going to come a time where you will have no pleasure in them because the days are constantly growing darker. The forecast is getting very dim. We already knowing that what they're trying to do, they get ready to try to have this total control. Can't really say that word again. You understand what I'm saying? So we seeing that, what I'm saying? Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. So, hey, it's time right now, to put the Lord first, and seek the Lord while he can be found. And also, call upon the Lord while he is near. And how can you do that? Through the men of the Lord, through the what? The mouthpiece of the Lord, the voice of the Lord. It's time to seek the Lord right now because these days are getting ready to be very, very perilous, very, very dangerous, evil time. We seeing, and one thing about it, you will have no pleasure in them when you don't have no job, no resource, no food to eat, no clothing, who will you turn to? And one thing about it, it's time right now, man, right now it's time to seek the Lord. Verse 2, it says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3 says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So we seeing right here, the grinder seed mean, the job, the employment. Right now, it's good right now. The grinding, a lot of people are grinding right now, creating jobs, creating resource. They're constantly taking care of their family, building with their old job that they had. So now we seeing that, the devil is getting ready to cut this all off. We knowing that he's getting ready to fill his belly. So all these side hustles, all this self-employed, independent contract, gig workers are getting ready to be a thing of the past. And one thing about it, in order to be a part of this new society, this new digital programmer, also implantable society, you're going to have to take it under the skin. It won't be no more freelancing. No one going to be doing their own thing anymore. They want to have everyone under control, track and tag, trace and tag. So you understand what I'm saying? So we seeing that this right here, the grinders is getting ready to see the job, no employment. We already know once that happened, all hell will break loose. That's exactly what they want. Verse 4 said, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So right now, we already know a lot of people, they're going to wake up one morning and, seeing that the birds are chirping, but it's not going to be any job, So all the good old days, what they call what you call the house of mirth, all that thing would become all the drinking and partying, the busy body of life, the pleasures of life, all that would be out the window. Your way of life, your necessity, your staff of bread will be broken. And one thing about a lot of people always depending on their money, depending on what they have, their possession. And one thing about it will be a stumbling block when this time of trouble comes. You will have no pleasure in them. The forecast gonna be very dim. A lot of people gonna be have their heads down. A lot of people gonna have a vexation of spirit, desperation and sorrow, uncertainties. A lot of these things. So let's look this up in the NLT. I just want to see what it says. Let's get a little bit more clarification. Let's look this up in the NLT. Let's get this other version of the same Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1 through 4. Let's read it from the top. Let's see what it said. It said, don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your creator. So honor him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore. That's right. You better seek the Lord right now in your youth while you have time right now, said before the door of repentance closed. Verse 2, it said, remember him before the light of the sun, moon, and stars is dim to your own eyes, and the rain clouds continually darken your sky. So one thing about it, it's gonna come a time right now. This is the quiet before the storm, but we already know we coming upon some very stormy weather. Some very bad weather is coming upon us. So it's time to remember. It's time to consider. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it is, repent and return to your true power while it's still it's time. While it's still what they call sunshine today. But one thing about it, we already know, hey man, when it rains, it's going to pour. Verse 3 said, remember him before your legs, the guards of your house start to tremble, and before your shoulders, the strong men stoop. Remember him before your teeth, your few remaining servants stop grinding, and before your eyes, the women looking through the window see dimly. So, man, I'm telling you, man. So, hey, we got to get it together right now. But a lot of our people, the 2/3, they're not gonna be able to get it together right now because they love money more than they love who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So you can't serve two masters. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, the one that saves his life shall lose his life. It's gonna be a dim forecast. Verse 4 said, remember him before the door to life opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. So now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. Wow. We seeing that right now. A lot of people gonna wake up to a rude awakening. So now let's go back to the King James Version. But I just want to look at that version and get a little bit more edification. So we seeing that it's time to seek the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It's basically when you're young, when you're vigorous. When you're in good health. When things are pretty much going good for you. But a lot of people don't want to seek the Lord until they come upon some type of adversity. You know what I'm saying? That straight gate. A lot of people don't want that straight gate. They want to, right now, things are going good. They're eating good. They're drinking good. Have good jobs. These, what you call these so-called side hustles, these independent contract, these gig workers, but all these things are getting ready to dry up. It's going to be all by design and manufactured through who? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The white man, he's not in control at all. He's just only playing his part in the movie. So let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's go here. Second Ezra chapter 16. We'll start up at verse 17. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17 said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And woe mean what? Destruction. What days? Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. You know what I'm saying? We coming fast approach this time where the grind is going to cease. No job, no resources, no food, no clothing. You know what I'm saying? No more good old days. It's getting ready to be very dark. If the Lord is not on your side, you will be totally destroyed. Verse 18 said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What shall you do? So we already know they putting all these unrighteous decrees, these laws, these rules, these executive order, all sorts of things are coming in play. Also, these mandates are getting ready to come back in play. These lockdowns, a lot of things are coming. What are you going to do? It's going to cause all sorts of what? Sorrow, mourning, famine, death. Also, we already know we're at the beginning of what? World War III, that third war. It's all around us. So these evils are constantly growing left and right. Are you considering? Verse 19 said, behold, famine and plagues, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourging for amendment. So that's why the Lord is constantly sending all these things left and right. These evils are growing. These scourges for what? Amendment, to mend your way, to examine yourself. You know what I'm saying? Also, come back to your true power while he can be found, because we are running out of time. We seeing this at the door. So we seeing that, the behold, the famine, the plague, the tribulation, the anguish are sent as scourging for amendment. So we seeing that what? These evils are growing on every side. The plagues are not what? Slacking down for a moment. Verse 20 He said, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of discouragement. So right now, a lot of people are not mindful of discouragement, what's going on all around them right now. We're already seeing it. You constantly, they gradually bringing it in. This new workers classification rule. So, the grind is going to see a lot of people, not being mindful of what's getting ready to happen. So a lot of people going to lose their income. A lot of people going to lose their livelihood. A lot of people going to lose their home, their transportation. They're gonna lose, even break up. A lot of people gonna break up because they depending on this app, and they trying to take it out. So it's gonna take away a lot of people livelihood. You understand? We're not ignorant of Satan's device. Verse 21 said, behold, victors shall be good and cheap upon the earth. They shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. We're seeing that right before our eyes. Verse 22 said, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So a lot of people right now thinking that they're a good case because they making pretty good money right now, pretty good resource. They don't have to pretty much work for any employee right now. They set their own time. They can go to work when they get ready. They, their hours and all that. It's very convenient. But one thing about it, we already knowing that he's getting ready to tighten the grip. He's getting ready to put you in a chokehold. And that chokehold is this new system that's getting ready to come into play. And one thing about it, it's going to deal with your digital IDs, these biometrics. All these things are coming into play. And we seeing right now, never trust thy enemy. As iron rusts, so is his wickedness. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. It's going to cause a lot of anguish, a lot of desperation, a lot of sorrow, also a lot of death and destruction. That's what they want. They call it order out of chaos. So now, let's go to our last and final script. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. Let's go here. And it reads, said, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Almighty Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So one thing about it is that, if you seeking the Lord, and one thing about it, the Lord is on your side, and you're part of the whole elect, the Lord said, he will sustain us. He will provide us in these times of trouble. So when your resource get cut off, your necessity, your way of life, all those things be taken away from you. All you must do is trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord will see you through the finish line, even in death. So we don't have anything to worry about. Constantly strive for this truth. And one thing about it, the Lord said, stand still. And the Lord's going to do the rest. So lean not on your own understanding. Once again, trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua when these times of trouble is fast approaching, that's coming at a fast pace upon us. So we're seeing it happening left and right. It's right at the door. So they get ready to take away these side hustles. This is what they so-called easy money. Hey man, we already knowing that these things are coming at a fast pace. Let's read this once again. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33 said, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Almighty Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and everything else will be added unto you. Hey man, one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to return with great glory and great power. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is Watchman Report. New worker classification rule. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.